Alrighty everyone, here we are. We are almost in the middle of March as we go throughout the first quarter of 2020, and ever since the release of Star Wars Episode 9, a lot of fans have been very worried about exactly how Disney and Lucasfilm are going to craft everything Star Wars related coming to Disney Plus, the new Star Wars trilogy of films, and other projects like video games, comics, books, novels, you name it. That's all going to make up this new Star Wars universe. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, one thing about Star Wars, of course, is that we do know that this Star Wars franchise is changing, all because of the brand new Disney CEO, Bob Chapek. A lot of changes are being made over at Lucasfilm. A lot of creatives are either getting promotions or new creatives are just coming in and replacing others in order to create a more authentic timeline of new Star Wars material. Now, the thing about this that's the most exciting to me is that Kathleen Kennedy no longer has creative control over these new Star Wars projects. So anything that's in the early development phase, Kathleen Kennedy is no longer involved in any of that. So that's one thing to look forward to, is that all of these Star Wars movies and TV shows, they're going to have different tones to them all. They're going to feel different at its core. Now, moving on past all of this, what's really intriguing has all to do with Mark Hamill and Kathleen Kennedy in general. Now, specifically, what's really intriguing is that now that both Disney and Lucasfilm are finished with, of course, The Rise of Skywalker, they are focused on their new Star Wars universe, as well as their new trilogy of films that will bring the fans into a brand new mythology of Star Wars. It's explained that currently Disney is trying to regain the trust of many of the lost fans from the sequel trilogy films, where one of the major plans by Disney is to bring back Star Wars Legends. However, during and after the premiere of Episode 9, many interviews were given to many of the actors, such as Mark Hamill. When questioned about the production of the film and Kathleen Kennedy's leadership, Mark Hamill went on to reveal that he and J.J. Abrams tested with many scenes in the forms of flashbacks and even had extended Force Ghost sequences for the movie before the major reshoots took place, where Hamill went on to explain that Kennedy did not want Luke as a character to be the main as originally intended by J.J. Abrams, as would take the attention away from Rey and Kylo Ren and the suspense of Palpatine's return. Hamill revealed also that he was originally supposed to have a major part for the ending of Episode 9, where they tested many different endings, and that Kennedy did not truly enjoy Luke taking the limelight from Rey at the very end of the movie, and so his big ending scene was deleted as well. It's explained that Hamill also unveiled that Kathleen Kennedy also insisted that Hamill would only appear in 2 brief scenes in Episode 9 in the film as his older self after the reshoots, and that it was Kennedy who created the complex production for the film, with many of the reshoots for Episode 9, and that Hamill was also very upset that many of Palpatine's scenes were cut from also by Kathleen Kennedy. Originally, Palpatine had far more screen time according to Hamill, and that Ian McDiarmid did so much work that was cut by Kathleen Kennedy's decision. So, the thing about Kennedy here, I don't know if you guys knew this, but originally this movie was 4 hours and 20-something minutes long in length. There was so much footage, so much material of what could have been for Episode 9, such as extended scenes on the world of Mustafar, that was going to feature, the hybrid Force Ghost of Darth Vader, the Oracle, Darth Vader's castle, all these crazy things, just to lay down an example there. Now, Mark Hamill's Luke Skywalker obviously would have been amazing in this movie if they gave him the limelight that he deserved. After what happened with Rian Johnson's take on The Last Jedi, a lot of fans were very upset with the fact that we got Luke finally after 30-some years of his appearance in Return of the Jedi, and he didn't really get to do all that much as the fans would have hoped for, right? So, when we look at everything related to Luke in The Rise of Skywalker, this was really their last chance to really give us a mature version of Luke in his older years, to really kind of do something incredible, and even in the form of flashbacks to do something incredible as well. You see, we got that little taste of what the flashbacks could have been like in The Rise of Skywalker from that one little 20, maybe 15-second clip between Luke and Leia on Endor dueling with their lightsabers. And that was all, of course, used by archived footage between Leia and Luke, portrayed by Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher from the original trilogy. So, with that being said, what's really intriguing also is how Mark Hamill unveils that he was supposed to have a major part of the ending of Episode 9. Not just a mere Force ghost smiling at Rey, but he was going to have a major part with Rey at the very end of the movie. I would like to imagine that he was going to somehow perhaps introduce Rey to his home on Tatooine, or maybe he was going to stand by Rey and place his hand on her shoulder or something like that. Something very heartwarming. I think that they would have done something like that. But anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Night to moon, we hear them moans again.